everyone, we're going to find the binomial expansion of this expression, 1 divided by 2x minus x to the fourth power, and write it in ascending powers of x. And then we're going to find the term independent of x in the binomial expansion of this whole expression here. So we'll get started. We're just going to have to expand this expression. And we're using this formula. Instead of n choose r, I'm going to use n choose r that way. And I'm also going to use, since we're to the fourth power, we're going to use our Pascal's triangle line that it's 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. That's going to save you time with the calculator if you know your expansion here. That would be a plus b to the fourth when you're using this formula. So let's get started. We're going to write it out. So we have 4 choose 0, and then we're going to write our a, 1 divided by 2x to the fourth, and then our negative x to the 0. These would match. These two always add up to 4, and then you're going to go in descending starting here. So then the next one would be 4 choose 1, and that's going to be 1 divided by 2x to the third, and then negative x to the first. So those two add up to 4, plus 4 choose 2, and that's going to be 1 divided by 2x squared, and then negative x squared, plus 4 choose 3, and this is going to be 1 to 2x to the first power, and negative x cubed, plus 4 choose 4, 1 divided by 2x to the 0 power, negative x to the fourth. And just recall that these numbers always match. These always match like that, and then these two numbers always add up to your n. So that's an easy way to double check your work. Now, like I said, I'm going to use Pascal's triangle. So this just equals 1. This equals 4. This equals 6. This equals back to 4. This is 1. And now we can expand it further by writing this as 1. I'm going to multiply this. This is 1. 2 is 2 to the fourth is 16x to the fourth. And then anything to the 0 power is just 1. So I'll cross those two out. All right, then we're going to go to this one. So this would be 4 times 1. And then 2 cubed is 8. X cubed. And then times negative x. So we're going to have to fix that one up. Okay, then we have 6. And then you do the denominator, it's going to be 4x squared. And then you have negative x squared. All right. Then we're going to have, well, negative x squared is just x squared. So let's just write this as x squared. Simplify. So this is going to be plus x squared. Or it's going to be times x squared. All right, so we took care of this one, and this one. So we have 2 more. So then we have plus 4 divided by 2x times negative x cubed. And the last one's just going to be plus, because negative to the fourth power is positive x to the fourth. Now if I can squeeze this in here, we'll simplify this. So 4 goes into x 2 times, and then this is going to change to a negative. So we have 1 to write 16x to the fourth plus 1. Now, x goes into x cubed, x squared times. So that's going to be 2x squared. These two cancel, so we just have 3/2. And then this one's going to be minus. This should be plus minus, so this should be a minus because you have a negative times a positive. Anytime you have a negative, it's going to be positive. It's going to be positive, negative, positive, negative. So we'll just write this as negative. And we're on this one. So we have 4 over 2. That's just going to be 2 x. And then we have plus x to the fourth. So this goes into that 2 times. We change this to negative, and x cubed divided by x is x squared. So this should have been a square. All right, so that's what we have. Now we're going to write it in ascending powers of x. So we're going to put our 4's together, our 2's together, and such. So we write that out. We're going to get x to the fourth plus 1 over 16 x to the fourth. So those are 4 and 4. Now let's do our squares. We have 2x squared minus 1 over 2x squared. So there's our squares. And then our constant term is 3/2. Remember, that would be like x to the 0. But x to the 0 equals 1, so we don't need to write that. So that's the first part. Now we have to find the term independent of the expansion of this whole expression. So now I have to do this one. So for 3, it's basically 1, 3, 3, 1 for Pascal's triangle. That's when you have a plus b cubed. We still have this negative, so let me expand this one. So that's going to be 3 choose 0, 3 cubed, negative x to the 0, plus 3 choose 1, 3 squared, negative x to the first power, plus 3 choose 2, 3 to the first power, negative x squared, and finally plus 3 choose 3, 3 to the 0, negative x cubed. So cleaning this up a bit, this again is 1, 3, 3, 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So I'm going to cross out my 0 powers and clean this up. So we have, for the first term, it's going to be 27 plus 3 times 9 times negative x. I'll put the x here and change this to negative. Again, it's anytime you have a negative, it's plus minus, plus minus. So we took care of that. Now this one's going to be 3 times 3, 3 times 3, which is 9. And negative x squared is just positive x squared. And the next term is going to be negative. See the positive, negative, and that's just going to be x cubed. All right, now we have to multiply these two together and find the independent term. And so let's try that. We're going to write 27 minus 27x plus 9x squared minus x cubed times our other first piece we did, which was x to the fourth plus 1 divided by 16x to the fourth minus 2x squared minus 1 over 2x squared plus 3/2. And then you want to FOIL all this out. But what you notice is, and this is where I'm going to start making a little bit of a mess here, when I multiply my first term times each of these terms here, so I keep going, all of these are going to have x's in them except this one. So we want independent of x. So that's going to be 27 times 3/2. Now again, when I multiply this one by all of these terms, you're still going to get an x in every term. However, when I multiply this one by all the terms, when I multiply these two, or no, not those two, sorry. Let me erase that. Minus 2x squared. When I multiply these two, I'm going to get 9x squared divided by 2x squared. So this is negative 2x squared. So these x's cancel, so we do have a term that's independent of x. So you're going to subtract 9 divided by 2. So that's going to give you, this is going to give you 81 divided by 2 minus 9 divided by 2 equals 72 divided by 2, and that equals 36. So that's the term independent of x. There's no x with it. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.